I think that that speaks to how powerful, you always say the mind is a powerful thing. I think it speaks to how powerful the mind is, because one of the
Mhm.
things that stood out to me, Loretta, when you were talking is when you talked about like all these scenarios that we conjure up in our little brains
Mhm.
about what could happen. And oftentimes it's like we're thinking not best case scenario, but worst case scenario.
Mhm.
Naturally, like that's what happens. And the effect that that has on our physical beings, like it's not even worth it. um,
Worth it.
so
Yeah.
I remember, like from what you were talking about last week, I started reading the book. Was it The Power? What was it? It's
Power
on
of
my
Now.
Audible. Yes, and just the first like I think 30 minutes in, because I'm listening to it on Audibles, and he was like, when you start having these thoughts, right? Step outside of that thought and
Mm.
look at the thought that you're having. Like he has a way of explaining like how you can block like the negative thinking. And I literally have been putting that into practice
Yeah,
all,
I
and I didn't
love
even
it.
like get anywhere in the book yet, but it just goes to show, like again, like just reiterating what I said earlier, is like how powerful our minds are and how it can have, if we are not thinking the right thoughts or thinking positively, how that can impact us in so many negative ways.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for sharing, Roxanne. And yeah, girl, Eckhart told Audrey is on here. She has the power now. It didn't resonate with her as much. She was like, because it's like question and answer, so it's a little
Right.
to get through. But Eckhart is powerful.
Mhm.
That's a powerful book. Yes, I love that you got that. Hey, Audrey.
Hey there. Hi, ladies. I'm so glad I could join you tonight. I'm not camera ready. I'm kind of sitting here in the dark, actually. I still got my Christmas tree lights on.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. um, I was just thinking as we were talking, and Loretta, yeah, it's not a new thought about the power of thought for me. But as we were kind of talking, one of the things I started to wonder about is like how like I feel like, especially in the case of like the parent and child, and the mom or the dad worrying about the child, and I think about it like, I'm not gonna say how old I am. Loretta knows how old I am. But like I think like I feel like our parents didn't worry like that. And I keep thinking,
Mhm.
what's the difference from then till now? And the only thing that I can imagine is all of this constant inundation of communication, all of this electronic communication.
Mhm.
Back then, like, man, my mom had to call the neighbor, and the neighbor would have had to say to my mom, well, Lee, don't you worry about your daughter going out somewhere? Like, you didn't have 100 million voices on the internet judging you as a mom,
True.
So I feel like that a lot of that is putting more and more into our minds about the necessity to worry, or that you're bad if you don't worry.
So
So
true.
yeah, I was just trying to think through that, and that's where I wound up. I just wanted to share that. I
That
don't
is
know.
so true. I completely agree with that because I think
Mm.
about my mama, girl. She put me on the bus
That's
and
that's
kept it moving. Do you hear me?
that's
Exactly.
She kept it moving. She was like, "Oh, I got a few
Oh,
minutes to myself." That's so
Hmm.
true.
yeah,
yeah.
my mom was like, just be home by 5.
Yeah,
Kids
Same.
after school,
true.
be home by 5.
Not
True.
but whether
I not loved.
situation, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Because I think back even to my childhood in Flatbush, Brooklyn, walking those streets, like going to school, from school, in elementary school, and there was no, oh, call me when you get home, or let me check
Mhm.
while you're walking to see if you
Mhm.
got home
Yeah,
safely. We went to school, we got back home. That was it,
that is so
But
true.
now with my kids, it's like, make sure you call me when you get there. When you call me
Mhm.
when you get back, like it's so
Audrey, you are
different.
on to something. Like you really are on to something. You're absolutely right. And the judgment on social media.
Yeah.